Will he have a proposal for Tuesday?
I hope that he will. I can't answer that. If he doesn't, then I'll take it off and we'll deal with it. I mean, March is coming. I believe that it's up in March or sometime thereabouts that we would renew with Harris. Other than that, proposal regarding the tax software, same thing. Obviously, we could combine it with the utility billing as well. I don't know. What do you want to put this out for RFP? I guess that's the question that I would ask.
Well, I think we need to do something. The BAS software was intriguing if they can make it work for a reasonable amount of money. But we don't know that yet.
We don't know the final amount if they do cater for the utility, and they may have a patch very well for the sewer software. So. Okay, new business, RFP for dissolution consultants. I did send you the RFP. I don't know how you feel about that, or if there's anything you'd like to see added to it.
Well, it needs a lot of work in there because it's a cut and paste job, if I can grab it right.
It very much so. I've taken it from other. Again, I'm not reinventing the wheel when it comes to the RFP.
My first inclination is that we should have a meeting with your committee and let them have input on the RFP. That, to me, is more appropriate than putting it out.
We can do that. Doesn't matter to me. If you feel that as a village board you're willing to accept what the committee says.
I think we need their input.
Okay.
I mean, the one that is in there, it says, we're going to study the effects of this study on the village of Norway. So I'm pretty sure we need some editing there.
Well, it's definitely not the final RFP, but Leslie, how do you feel about that? Contributing to the RFP. You'd like to contribute to the RFP, I assume?
I think it's something that the committee should discuss.
Okay. Grant funding we did for Marvin. Thanks again. Letter for Patricia Pierce regarding the policies of the village meeting. I guess she wrote a letter. I didn't get a copy until much later, but I did read it. Regarding the cancellation of the meeting in January.
We discussed the last meeting. I don't even know what's on the.
I don't know. I mean,
on the agenda. We discussed the last meeting. So you wanted us just to acknowledge we got our letter, and we did. And off we go. So I don't know why it's on there. I didn't read the agenda.
I read the minutes and it was not addressed, so I put it on the agenda.
It was on open floor. We discussed it on open floor.
Well, it was said in the minutes that the mayor would address it. What do I have to address about?
Talk to Patty about it, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. CDPHP resolution regarding healthcare renewal. I believe we're looking at 2 tiers. I did get an email from Maureen stating one of the tiers, was it that one of the tiers was dropped, or?
2 of the tiers were dropped. We were a 4-tier rate before, and it's much cheaper, more so on the family end of the policy versus the single premiums. So really it's a benefit more for the family, which is really for the water department, but because they can't have their policy, they're on with us. And they do a direct pay to CDPHP. But it is still a savings for the single. It's the biggest savings is still the family cost to go from the 4-tier to the 2-tier. It just would be in effect for a whole annual year until your next anniversary date of March 1st.
Yeah. 2 weeks prior. Okay. Are we ready to go with CDPHP? Is the board ready to, based on the tiers? Or the tier, no?
Well, we do that next Tuesday.
Right. Well, I'm asking if you want to look for other insurances, or obviously we tried that last year and we found, I believe it was last year that we looked.
I'm inclined just to accept CDP.
Okay. Tim, how about you? Obviously, we're not passing it tonight, but I am going to ask in terms of the resolution if we're willing to accept that for a resolution next Tuesday. Okay, we do have a resolution for budget amendment regarding the DPW vehicle maintenance, and that was, if I recall, $600 instead of $8 or something, or $8 instead of...
It was just over 500, it was the 519.85, so about 520.
So 520, and it was quoted as 8 before?
790.
790, yeah. Yeah, it was cheaper, so we'll have a resolution for that, and that, okay. Is there any other things we want to add to the agenda?
Absolutely. You need to appoint a deputy mayor, saying that you fired me.
I unappointed the deputy mayor, yes.
Whatever. The law says you have to do it, and I don't care if you change it.
I don't disagree that the law says I have to have a deputy mayor.
You need to do it.
Okay.
So when can we expect that to be done? We passed a resolution requiring it to be done, obviously ignored, as you were prone to do.
It'll be done within the next 2 weeks.
If you need it done faster than that, then why didn't you just appoint...
Within the next 2 weeks could be tomorrow. Who knows?
How about within the next day? You already passed the deadline that we put on resolution.
That's right.
Ignoring anything the village board wants to do or has to say, so I don't
With
think...
my decision, my appointing power, yeah, I think I should.
You have a duty as a mayor to...
I don't disagree that I do have duties.
All right, and that is one of them.
We
So do
know
it.
our own laws we make anyway, so what does that matter?
I don't think this is
Right.
public, I don't believe this is open to the public right now. The mayor has a duty to uphold. He has to perform his duty. Period. He doesn't have to like it, he just has to do it.
What's
Right.
the next,
As he does the law you were talking about.
Right,
what's
well,
the next
And he didn't do
item?
it. He didn't do yours either.
The next
I've
item,
done
Pat?
mine.
No,
I
he
brought
didn't
it
do
to your
yours.
attention that we're not even following our own law. So don't even go there, Pat. And
I'm not.
And it's all gotten stalled out.
Let's,
Are you gonna cut
create
him off like you cut Roger off? Are you gonna cut him off like you cut Roger?
I said, let's move on.
Then tell him to knock it off.
Pat, you're
Joe, we're-
notorious for creating a problem and then trying to look like
There
the
we go.
hero in the
Joe,
end.
we're gonna move on.
Okay.
So,
All right? Yeah. We need to discuss the NICOM opinion,
okay.
because you said you were gonna be proved substantially right, and that's not the case. I think it needs to be discussed. You're so
Have you
adamant about it.
discussed the written opinion with Wade Beltramo, as I did?
Jim, I'm not gonna deal with anything that was spoken words and conversations that may or may not have happened.
I think you need
Because
to-
the only thing that counts, which is what is here, in writing.
Yeah,
And everybody can have a copy
It's a lot
of
legal
it.
with interpretation on
Everybody
your
can have a
behalf.
copy of it, and they can read it for themselves and form their own interpretation. I think it needs to be discussed and put out.
Feel free. Have you put it in the back of the room yet, like you've done with everything else?
I will do that at the meeting.
Okay, then fine. That's the extent of it. Why do we need to drag the...
Because I think there's
You know what?
issues
If we're gonna
here that need
discuss
to be
the
discussed.
NICOM, if we're gonna discuss that, Pat, you know what we need to discuss?
What?
Putting another RFP out for a village attorney. That's what we need to
We can have an
discuss. And it's not my appointment. You disagree, and that's basically what Wade says. Wade says that you really need to put it out, and the mayor and the board need to agree on somebody. So let's put it back out for RFP. Why did you go through the whole RFP process?
Why don't you agree to hire Mike Catalmo?
I'm not going to agree to hire Mike Cataldo because there are issues with Mike. Clear issues.
You have issues with it.
I'm not the only one who has issues with Mike.
Well,
Bottom line.
the board obviously doesn't.
Right, well, that's true. That is true, but there are other boards that have had problems with Mike. So,
So, why are we taking into account?
are we gonna put it back out for RFP, or are you just gonna keep Mike? I mean, come on.
The board has their lawyer. I'm inclined to keep.
Well, I think you're putting yourself at a severe disadvantage to take me up on a really good offer. And that is to hire a village attorney and to have him appointed properly and represent the village. And I'm stating that again right now, as I stated it in the past. Why did you go through the RFP process before?
I explained myself then.
No, I didn't hear the
You
explanation.
didn't. You were sitting right next to me. How
Yeah,
much did
well,
you
go
hear?
ahead, explain it. I'm willing to listen
You had
now.
a better
Because
solution.
I wasn't listening before.
You're not listening now either.
Okay, go ahead, Pat.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm
Are
done.
you sure?
Yep.
We went through the process to see if there might be a better attorney that fit the village better. I didn't see one.
Okay, so let's put it for RFP again. Put it out.
Put it out. Go cut and paste another one together, Jim, if you want. If you find a better attorney, I'll admit it, but I don't think you will. You had one attorney that met the budget requirements, and I didn't think it was adequate for our needs.
What was not adequate?
we had a more experienced attorney with a bigger law firm behind him.
You're always
I'd
going to
just follow up
have
for the same price.
experience you cannot gauge adequately other than the fact that Mike has
I've
been.
hired people, I would say far more than you have, and I've
I'm
talked
sure
to, I
that
don't
you
know how many
have.
lawyers.
I'm sure that you
and so I
have,
think my
but
experience
how
would
do I
say that I
gauge-
have a better judge of that than you are, so.
Okay, well, if you say so.
I would trust my judgment over yours.
Okay, well, we already know that's the case in a lot of things, so. Resolution for an RFP, do we want to do that?
You want to put an RFP out, go ahead.
Okay. I think we should put another RFP out, and I'm not going to put an RFP out unless you're going to agree to interviewing and to look at another attorney.
I've already told you what my requirements would be. Show me one better.
Well, how broad can you be? I mean,
Well, how narrow-minded can you be? What do you want?
yeah, well, okay, Pat, whatever. Go on. Is there anything else?
I think we need to discuss the lawsuit,
What do we need to discuss?
that you were wrong, and I'd like to discuss the website.
Okay, let's discuss the website right now.
Okay, the website needs to be controlled or monitored or updated from the village office. It is not officially a village website. All of that has to come to the village office, or it's not a village website.
Okay, so what do you want to do with the village website?
If you want to keep it up and running the way it is, which I don't think is a bad idea, I think it's a good idea to have it up there. I think it needs to come in here so that all those records and everything are put on through the village office. So turn it over to the village office, the village.
Okay, well, if you're willing to pay the renewal fees, I'm fine with turning the village website over.
Well, get it all together. How much are we talking?
$100?
Put it together with real numbers and we'll get it turned over. And then any of the updates and stuff are controlled through the village office. That's the way it should be done.
Well, the software is going to be more money, and the reason I'm controlling it from my house is because I have purchased the software myself. So,
Get the whole package together and we'll consider it. But right now...
who would be in charge of updating the website?
It would have to be done through, depending on what you're doing. If you're gonna, you'd have to have a webmaster if you're gonna change the face of it. But if all you're gonna do is be putting up updates and minutes announcements and things like that, then it can be done by Brenda or Maureen or anybody.
We can discuss that further. As far as the lawsuit goes, let's go back to that, and what is it that we have to discuss?
I think it's very important. There's a couple of things that need to be discussed in that lawsuit, and one of them's in the transcript. But first of all, you didn't follow proper procedure, and the Supreme Court judge said so. And you indicated that you're gonna
That's why
appeal
they
this.
have an appeal.
Well, you indicated you're gonna appeal this, and you have an estimated cost on what that appeal is gonna
I
cost
think
taxpayers?
the estimated appeal will cost around $4,500.
Per side?
I don't know what your side will cost.
So you're talking like $9,000.
But I have the right to an
Satisfied.
appeal because I feel the judge was inaccurate and
What
not correct.
What good is gonna come out of this for the village taxpayer?
I don't know, you're the one who filed the lawsuit, you tell me.
You did it, you did something wrong.
No,
That's something
I
illegal.
still don't believe that it is.
Well,
To this date, I do not believe that I was incorrect.
a
I believe
Supreme
the
Court judge said...
I don't care what a Supreme Court judge who works in the Court of
Pat,
Claims and
he's the
doesn't know
CEO.
general municipal
He's
law
the
says.
Well,
I really don't, if you really want to know how I feel.
I think we should reconsider.
No, I'm not reconsidering. An appeal is on the way. I feel that Judge Seiss has made an incorrect decision. I said that to the paper. He was unjust. And I said I wanted a judge to make a ruling on this, and I still want a judge to make a ruling.
Judge
Because I don't
Seiss is not a
consider-
judge.
I don't consider him a judge. I consider
Wow.
him appointee by the state, Governor Pataki.
So
He
how
made
do
a
you-
very inaccurate decision based on the fact that he does not know general municipal law, and he does not practice it on a daily basis.
And Wakefield...
I'm not saying